Impossibly Glamorous Studios presents Tea with Charles, starring Charles St. Anthony.
Coming at you from our studio in fabulous Los Angeles, this is another episode of the Tea with Charles podcast. I am your host, Charles St. Anthony. Joining me in the studio today is Alicia Adams. Welcome to the show, Alicia.
Hi.
Hi. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is awesome. Thank you.
I am overjoyed to have you here. Alicia, I know because she is my fitness inspiration. You mentioned when we were doing a little prep work that you were doing intermittent fasting now.
Yes.
How's that working out?
You know, it's been actually working really, really well for me. I definitely gained a few pounds during this whole pandemic situation, working from home, snacking a lot.
Oh.
I started a new office job right before the pandemic, and we have all the snacks. Famous Amos cookies, grandma's, Cheez-Its. So I was already putting weight on before the pandemic. And
temptation.
I cannot say no to Famous Amos. The intermittent fasting has been amazing.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I've also started, I hate working out at home, but I just had to buckle down. I've been stealing weights from the gym in my building and doing some at-home workouts, and I started running again. So for the uninitiated, explain us how to do intermittent fasting or how you're doing it. Well, I got a coach. I paid for the app because I am out here clueless on my own. But basically just different periods of day, I'm not eating. And so I actually just broke my fast, which is why you saw me scarf down those chocolate almonds before we came in. That was my first meal since yesterday at 6 p.m.
So you cut out all food, all drinks?
Except for water.
Except for water from 6 p.m. until
12 p.m. today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So by the time you're able to eat again, you're just like starving.
I'm not necessarily starving. Sometimes I actually have to force myself to eat because, if you don't, it won't start your metabolism. And so I have to remember it's eating time.
It's eating time.
I was hungry today.
What's the name of the app that you're using to do the intermittent fasting?
Maybe it's called Body Fast.
Body Fast?
I believe so.
Do you know how much weight you've lost since then, or do you even not weigh yourself and just look in the mirror?
I weigh myself every week. It's funny that you mentioned that. The only reason I weighed myself this week was because I was looking in the mirror and I was like, hey, girl, you look skinny today. Oh. And I got on the scale, and last week I lost 3 pounds. The week before that, I lost 2. The week before that, I lost 1. So, and I'm on different plans. Like I'm on the fat killer these last 2 weeks. So.
Okay, well, that sounds like a really great idea. In addition to being a fitness guru of sorts, Alicia, you have a fashion line.
I do. I am wearing something from my line. It is definitely black as fuck. That's definitely what it says. Can we curse on here?
Yes. Go curse away, honey. So the fashion line's name is Black as Fuck.
Yes.
And you're wearing a little, I guess, a crop top hoodie?
Yep. I have cropped hoodies, T-shirts, regular hoodies, T-shirt dresses, hats, and it's basically exactly what it says. I tell people this every day. If you wake up every morning and you walk into a room and you're black skin, no matter if you're the only black person in that room or there's thousands of black people in that room, if you are proud to be in that skin, you're black as fuck.
Yes, and I'm looking at the little design on the hoodie you wore here today. It says black as fuck, and you've got image of a woman. She's kind of posed like the Statue of Liberty, but making
a black power fist with an
black
afro.
Power fist.
Absolutely.
And she got the afro.
Absolutely. This was just been a thought that's been in my head for a lot of years. And luckily, I have a friend whose daughter is an amazing artist, Tiara Armstrong. Y'all check her out.
Tiara Armstrong.
And we went through so many iterations of this design. And when we came upon this one, I was like, this is it, TT. And she was like, it is. So here we are.
I want to support black businesses. My listeners want to support black business. Where can we get some Black as Fuck merchandise?
You can actually go online at www.buyblackasfuck, and that's buy as in BUI. So spend your coins.
Spend them coins.
Spend them coins, please. Buyblackasfuck.com. IG_black_as_fuck.
Well, I want everybody to go out and support Alicia. Buyblackasfuck.com. It's hot. It's the tea. I love your shirt.
Thank you.
I'm going to get out there and support your business. But you know what we're here to support today?
What are we here to support?
We got some hot topics and tea for you. You ready to get into it?
Let's get into the tea, baby.
Let's go.
Pour yourself some tea and let's dive into these hot topics.
So, Alicia, J.K. Rowling, she's not invited to the Pride Parade this year.
I mean, you guys, she should just be quiet. She should stop tweeting. I feel like she's always in hot water, and that's why she's the tea.
She's the tea, and she's not invited to the Pride Parade. She's not going to get a mimosa at Hamburger Mary's. Can't go to the meet and greet with Shea Couleé. But let's get into why this happened.
What'd she do this time?
All right. So Miss J.K. Rowling, if you've been following the news at all, has stirred up the hornet's nest by saying some things that the trans community found offensive. And in addition to some tweets that people found as insensitive, she also wrote this big, long essay. And we don't have all day, so we're not going to get into all of it. But I'm just going to read a couple of the tweets that Ms. J.K. Rowling has said. So here she said on June 6th, if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. What do you think of that, Alicia?
I think are we still in a space where people are confusing sex with gender?
I believe that's what it is. Because, back in the day, especially, J.K. Rowling, she's a boomer. Let's get real.
Fair. She's a little older.
Older. Not that, there's older people that get it too, but there's your physical sex.
Right.
And then there's the gender you present as.
Absolutely.
I don't think trans people are trying to erase the concept of sex.
I don't either. I don't get it. This is the thing. I don't understand people who don't get it. And so I'm not trying to laugh at her comments are atrocious. I'm laughing at the fact that we're still here.
Why are we still here?
Why are we still here?
Why are we still here? And Miss J.K. Rowling, if you start the tweet with, I know and love trans people, but...
It is just as bad as saying, my best friend is black.
But...
I have a black best friend.
Whatever's after the but,
yes,
leave it alone,
just
honey.
Stop.
Nothing good can come of it.
But isn't she always in trouble with the community? Y'all just have to stop. Don't rely on her no more. She's not a fan. She's not a friend. She's not an ally.
All right. Well, I like to have surprises here on the Tea with Charles podcast.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
So I thought it's time for a game.
Is a man going to jump out of a cake?
Well, we'll do that next episode.
Bet.
But, so the game is tweets that people have sent J.K. Rowling.
Woo.
All right. So I cut up on our podcast, and the table in front of us are a bunch of tweets. People have tweeted J.K. Rowling this week. Alicia, you're the guest of honor. Choose the first tweet.
Well, this is truly a surprise.
You got Bob the Drag Queen here. Bob the Drag Queen. So turn it over.
And the tweet says on June 14th, J.K. Rowling equals just a Karen Rowling.
Just a Karen Rowling.
Woo!
Ouch. All right, I'm going to grab one here. Twitter handle Lumos says, I love Harry Potter. Can you stop ruining it?
Fact.
Right.
She's been doing that for a while now.
Okay. Point taken. All right, Alicia, taking another tweet.
This is from Twitter handle Jacaponte. I've been empathetic to trans people for decades. The transphobic version of some of my best friends are black. Didn't we just say that? This is my spirit animal. Yes, Jack, it is.
We're going to find you on Twitter.
It absolutely 1,000% is. And shout out to you for saying that on June the 6th.
We're doing tweets that people sent J.K. Rowling here on Tea with Charles. Next tweet from Succubun. That's SUCCU_bun. Literally, everybody hates you. Good job. Okay.
What else can you say after that?
This was a little harsh.
This is from Twitter handle June's Bra. And is this Goldie and Peppa Pig? I don't know what the pictures are of, but it says, say something transphobic again and I'll remove your spinal cord, bitch. Ouch.
Ouch. We do not endorse violence on Tea with Charles, but
Well, I always say I'm anti-violent, not non-violent. There is a difference.
But sometimes these emotions we get pent up comes out in a very sharp way.
Yeah.
Next tweet we have from Twitter handle @NicePropaganda. Harry Potter and the Public Relations Nightmare. Boom.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for
They
it.
could actually add that to Harry Potter World. That could be like a new ride.
It's the next story about Hermione.
Do you know I've never actually seen a Harry Potter?
What?
Yes. My sister is the biggest Harry Potter fan. She actually bought like season passes to Harry Potter World. I've never been, never watched the movie, never read the book.
Really?
Never, ever, ever. Not my thing. But I always enjoy these J.K. Rowling missteps. This is from Nicole B. Hicks. Bitch, please. It's the hatiest of hate. By the way, I don't define my womanhood based on my period. How sad that you do. I say that all the time.
Don't define your womanhood based on your period.
I always say I don't define it by my ovaries, but same thing.
Ugh.
Same.
At Nikki Howe, that's Nikki spelled Nicci. Empathetic. Ha 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 ha. Hateful swine. Okay.
Wow. Hateful swine. That's not like bacon. Bacon is loving swine. This is from Lady Lennon, 1964. I am not a woman because I menstruate and have children. Many cis women cannot have children. Many do not have periods, and they are still women. That speaks to what I just said about do not define me by my ovaries.
Exactly.
That is exactly. This is a boomer who gets it. I'm assuming 64 is the year she was born.
Replying to J.K. Rowling, Aaron Anxiety Bones says, box wine is a hell of a drug.
Offended. I still like me a good boxed wine every now and then.
Yeah.
Let's not act like classy with a K parties do not exist, okay? Box wine, cheese whiz.
Yeah. And like Kathy Griffin's mother, when it's running out, you can just tip the box. Tip it.
Tip the box.
Tip it.
Look, Franzia, great box wine.
I don't judge.
Black Lives Still Matter. That one queen just canceled Rowling with a K.
Okay, that's Bob the drag queen again.
He was on it that day.
He was on it. Bob was on fire.
He was. Except, I'm not really into the whole Karen nickname thingy.
Why is that?
I just feel like if we're going to hold people accountable, let's not give them cute little nicknames. Let's call them out by who they are. J.K. Rowling, Amy Cooper. Y'all are not Karens. Y'all are who y'all are.
That's who you are. I was even just saying on the last episode that all the Beckys of the world heaved a sigh of relief now that
Karen's here taking over.
Karen's in the hot seat now.
We're not doing no more cute nicknames for people who weaponize whiteness or gender. We will not give them cute nicknames. We will call them by the names that we know them by.
No Karen, no Miffy, no Misty.
No.
We will call you by your name.
Absolutely. So your mama know we talking about you.
Exactly. All right, we've only got a couple more tweets here. Let me grab one. From Twitter handle Aaron Linguini. It's literally Pride Month. If you were to talk down to us, this wasn't the moment.
The tone deafness of it all. Do a temperature check.
Yeah.
Do it to see where we are in the world.
Right.
And yeah, maybe June was not the best decision.
It was not.
This is from Ruby Fiera. Oh, beautiful makeup, Ruby Fiera. I see you. I must have missed something. Being trans and knowing a lot of others, I'm yet to come across anyone trying to eradicate biological sex because I'm pretty sure it's impossible.
Boom. Mic drop. As a cisgender man who presents as a man, I didn't want to necessarily speak for transgender people, so I thought it'd be fun to use some of their own voices. Because we could talk about it all day, but, unless you've lived their reality and lived their experience.
Preach.
You cannot say everything. And talking about the original tweets by J.K. Rowling, I don't know if it was so much what she said was incorrect. It was just right at this moment.
Right.
At this moment, we did not want to have some British billionaire up there counting her Harry Potter billions, eating the best scones money can buy in her castle in Scotland or whatever. come here and lecture us about penis and vajayjay. All right, we didn't need the lecture. We didn't need it in Pride Month. We don't need it next month. Is J.K. Rowling, we have enough problems of our own without, having some hag come and lecture us about how we're supposed to feel. She might be right about a few things. Sure, I'll give her that. But, bitch, we did not want that from you.
Period. Write books. Write books, write about Harry Potter and his mythical world, and leave it at that.
Go back to your stories with the wand up your butt.
Girl.
Yeah.
Period.
And people are so mad about this. I even read on BuzzFeed and a few other places, people are removing their Harry Potter tattoos.
People have Harry Potter tattoos?
I was going to ask you, but you said earlier, you've never even seen a Harry Potter.
Not a chance.
Because I
don't think I'm her demographic, by the way.
I'm a proud Generation X.
Okay.
So I was a little too old to get into it, but, I've been working media all these years. I was like, all right, I need to know what people are talking about. And so I checked out the movie, wasn't going to read the books.
You loved it.
It was not my thing.
Oh, you didn't like it at all.
I could enjoy the entertainment value. I could see why children liked it.
Okay.
But I'm not a child, and I didn't have any children to take with me to make it fun. Maybe it would have been fun if I brought, like my nieces and nephews.
Right.
By the time we got to that, there was like 8 or 9 fucking movies in this series. And I'm like, by the time we got, I'm like, I was ready to be done. I'm like, just kill Voldemort, find a way, just stab him in the heart. I don't know what you got to do.
You committed. You watched all of them.
I didn't watch all of them. There was like 6,
you watched
7,
enough.
8. I was tired of talking about it and reporting on it by that point.
I've never seen a single one. I have no interest, but I have no children. I have no reason. I'm not really into wizards.
Okay.
So.
Did you enjoy the game?
I did. I liked the surprise. And I didn't know until you said it that these were all tweets from trans people. So I am very glad we got to give them a voice here too. So
yes.
That's awesome.
I mean, trans as much as we know. I know Bob the Drag Queen is not trans, but, he being...
from the queer community.
From the queer community.
I'm glad we got to give people voices.
Yes. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5. Have you been watching it?
I've watched 2 episodes. I think I've only missed 1, actually.
Okay. And what do you think about the twist? So if you don't know, the twist of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5, a lip sync assassin,
yes,
one of the famous queens, comes back at the end of every episode to do battle.
I think that after the first episode, the queens, you have to know that you have to come prepared. The first one, you kind of give a pass because, whoa, what a twist that was.
Exactly.
But I think the reason Shea Couleé won last is because Shea knew, this is it. I have to come prepared.
Exactly. So we have a good roster of queens on All-Stars 5. Who's your pick to win this season?
Well, Shea Couleé is always my pick to win. I've been following her when you see those types of cheekbones, you have to follow.
I know. Grace Jones would almost be jealous. Almost.
I mean, she literally looks like Grace just touched her with the cheekbone magic and the chocolate magic and said, bam, you take this and you run with it.
I was surprised when Shea lost her original season. But
I don't think Shea lost her original season. I don't necessarily, I can agree with that.
Well, she didn't get the $100,000.
I mean, technically she lost, but you know what I'm saying. I don't think she lost.
Having her not win her first season, at least not get the crown.
Right.
She gets to come back for All-Stars and we get to enjoy her again, which is wonderful. Personally, I don't know if anybody can even hold a candle to Shea at this point. It's like she's kind of her level of drag is higher than the other queens, I think. They're all
different.
Good.
It's different. I mean, everybody can't be Beyonce. Somebody has to be Kelly. And look, Kelly is great.
Kelly's gorgeous. She's got a great
amazing,
voice.
But everybody's not Beyonce.
Everybody's not Beyonce.
Everybody's not Shea. But Shea could be Beyonce.
Shea can be Beyonce. But she almost got booted off this last week.
Whew. It was a close one.
This was, if one of the other queens was going to win, this was their moment to do it, to put it in there.
But
because they could have voted her off with the lipsticks.
They could have.
I don't see how she cannot win at this point, but I thought she was going to win the last season.
I will say this. I think that the queens still need to realize that this is also a strategy.
Yes.
I think right now everybody's still playing it a little too, well, they were just really bad. And you have to think about, who can I potentially lose to? If I have an opportunity to get them off, let me get them off.
They are playing way too nice.
Way too nice.
I thought Jujubee might have booted Shea Couleé this week because she was in the final lip sync. Spoiler alert. So you could tell Jujubee was shook when the lip sync assassin came out, Monet Exchange. And it was a slam dunk song for Monet because Jujubee, she's an awesome lip syncer, but it was Juice by Lizzo. Like, how was Jujubee didn't even have a chance, all right?
Facts.
I mean, Monet Exchange is Juice.
Facts. I don't disagree with any of this. I do think that this probably lit a fire under Shea Couleé, and I think we're going to see amazing performances and competition throughout. I was shocked at how badly they did. I thought they were going to kill the Golden Girls Hotel.
Oh, the Golden Girls Hotel, it was on life support.
Random fact about me, I always tell people, if you ever want me to love you forever, get me either the 30 for 30 box set by ESPN or a Golden Girls box set. I've seen every episode of the Golden
really?
Girls. I love them.
The Golden Girls, they went in. It's like I vaguely remembered them from my childhood, but then I'm watching the reruns nowadays, and it was like, damn, Dorothy, why you got to be so savage?
The only reason I have the Hallmark channel is because the Golden Girls come on pretty much every hour on the hour.
That is amazing.
And Blanche and Dorothy and Sophia give some of the best reads. They're like the original readers.
They're like the Paris is Burning of Miami in the 80s.
I love them.
It's like, you want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading.
I love them.
The Golden Girls were kind of like, they were almost like elderly drag queens.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes. I was very disappointed with Shea and who was it? Miss Cracker. And who was the other one?
Was it Mariah?
On their team. Maybe.
That went home?
Yeah, it was because both Miss Cracker and Mariah were in the bottom.
Oh.
All of these spoilers. I hope y'all have watched this.
Sorry.
Oops.
Sorry, not sorry. But when you are checking out live drag in Los Angeles, where do you usually head to?
Well, of course, you go to Hamburger Mary's for the drag show.
You can go to Long Beach. You can go to West Hollywood.
Well, I used to live right down the street from the Hamburger Mary's in Long Beach.
Okay.
So I would, it's always a good time.
I know they're doing some limited shows right now. And we have a new show coming this summer. It's called Drive-In Drag. Because of the pandemic, people can't get in close. So they're doing like a drive-in movie theater thing in July. I know they've got dates in New Jersey and here in LA. And in Drive-In Drag, they're going to have a bunch of the famous Rue girls perform. We're going to have Jada Essence Hall, who just won, Aquaria, Monet Exchange, Lip Sync Assassin, Kimchi, Evie Oddly, Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, Asia O'Hara, Acid Betty, Gigi Good, Cameron Michaels, Naomi Smalls, Plastique Tiara, Violet Chachki. And they'll probably add more and subtract more. Don't take my word on it. That's a good lineup.
This sounds fun. Where is this going to be in LA?
Voss Events is the name of the company that produces it. I'm pretty sure it's downtown LA. Somewhere in downtown LA, they're doing it.
Where can we do a drive-in?
I know. I was like, where in downtown? I don't know. Check out the Voss Events website. They ain't paying my bill, so I'm not giving out. They want to sponsor the show. I'll tell them more.
Fair enough.
Alicia, I have been in tears for weeks now.
About?
Because one of my favorite TV shows was canceled, Cops. This is my guilty pleasure. I love Cops. I love when they catch somebody with crystal methamphetamine and it's like, yes, they got him. And maybe it was time. It's been 3 decades.
It's been a long time. And I also think part of the reason is, wasn't the murder of Javier Ambler caught on one of these cop shows and they altered the footage?
What?
Yes. Which is, randomly enough, one of my really good friends was really good friends with him. They're both in Texas. And yeah, that's coming out now, that it was filmed on one of these live PD shows. And the footage was altered. So I don't think it's the protest. I think it's the reality of what's happening with these police departments across the U.S.
Unapologetically, I loved Cops because I love a hunky man in uniform.
Absolutely. And they will live on. At Hamburger Mary's, we will see some sort of cop queen.
Bad boys, bad boys.
I mean, that's it. It's going to live on forever in your memory. What about like the sheriffs of Broward County, or are all of the cop shows
all
going
out
away?
Of a job now.
Oh, well.
If we love men in uniform, maybe there's another show we could come up with.
I think we should do like a fire 911 type of live action situation, because firemen are the real hunks. Let's be super clear.
Yes. It's like, get that hose out and hose me down, honey.
And slide down that pole. That's it. Slide down the pole, pull the hose out. But I think we should do that, though. Some sort of live fireman show. I mean, who doesn't like firemen?
They've got calendars of firemen.
They have calendars of firemen. Firemen save people. Firemen save cats. You never really hear of any, like, firemen abuse. They're always here to save and be hunky.
I know. There will be some false fire alarms going out from my house. I'll just tell you that. I'll be like, oh, Mr. Fireman, I'm burning up.
Let me tell you, on my run, I actually live by the fire department in my neighborhood. And every time that garage goes up and that truck comes out, I'm always like,
yes. Well, that's what we need, the fireman live show. If they could find a way to do it that they're not, because firemen have to save people's lives. So as long as they could film without getting in the
way,
because
that might be a little trickier to figure out.
Yes, but I'm gonna be in mourning for Cops for a while, because I think the gays were the only ones left watching Cops at this point, and I will tell you why. Not only hunky men in uniform subjugating men's with all their strengths. They always had advertisements on the Cops Marathon for Discovery for PrEP, which if you know what PrEP
demographic.
is.
I know what the commercial says. Absolutely.
Discovery for PrEP. Step up, prep up.
I guess they know who their demographic is then, because I didn't know that there were still cop marathons. So see?
Yeah, I would. It was something I would like have in the background on while I did other stuff, while I'm like playing on social media. But I was like, all right, the other gays are watching is we have Discovery for PrEP.
Absolutely.
The commercial with the drag queen who says, for kings, this queen, and you royals in between.
I've never seen that one. See, the one I always see is just, are you on PrEP? Are you on PrEP? Are you on PrEP? Are you on PrEP? Discovery PrEP. That's the only one that's the one that comes on ESPN.
And the two straight people listening to this podcast are like, what are they talking about? PrEP. It's pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is a pill you take to help prevent HIV transmission.
Right. So only men can take it. It does not work. And at least that's what the commercial on ESPN says.
That's right. Yeah. Women cannot take it. But going back to Cops, I was like, all right, they got the commercial for the HIV medication with the drag queen. The homos are watching
I've
Cops.
Never seen that one. So they must not have as much faith that the community is watching ESPN, because on the ESPN one, it's just men asking each other if they're on PrEP, and then it goes on. I've never seen the one with the drag queen, ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Cops, as hunky as the men were, it did show a lot of problematic things about the justice system. Just because it showed the futility of the war on drugs. It's like, why are they arresting this homeless guy for having meth? He's homeless. Let him have some meth. All right. You're going to put him in jail for what? Obviously, other countries have different ways of handling, it's more of a social issue, like drug addiction. And the prostitution episodes were very upsetting too, because they would kind of trap these like horny old dudes that just needed a little help. Okay.
Let's legalize prostitution. Let's legalize marijuana and prostitution on all levels.
If I had charged for it growing up, honey, I could have a place in Calabasas.
Let me tell you, I am not mad at any consenting adult who is out here putting a price tag on that punani.
I know. If I had just had the good sense to charge for it,
All the free stuff we've given away in our younger years, okay?
And we thought we were on the moral high ground.
How?
No.
We were making bad business decisions.
Exactly.
That's it.
And if I say legalize it, tax it, that will build a new bridge, honey.
As it should.
The hooker tax will build the bridge from here to San Francisco.
And give them health insurance, all that good stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm beyond. Yeah, I've never understood why we arrest drug addicts and or prostitutes. Exactly.
And I always look at the countries with sensible laws about this, like the Netherlands or something, or Portugal. And I'm just like, why is America so, like, we invent the fastest phones in the world, but we're still treating, our sex workers like it's the scarlet letter.
Well, it's because we still use sex as a way to dominate women and keep women in subjective roles.
That is completely true.
That's the only reason.
It's the end of an era. The cops is over, but hopefully the start of a new era. I think police just needs to be rebranded. It needs to be remarketed, rebranded. It needs to not be police anymore. It needs to be like community peace enforcer.
Community peace enforcer. I am very much so on the defund the police train before everybody jumps down my throat. Defund the police does not mean disband any type of police organization. It simply means restructure the finances.
Restructure it.
Put those finances back into the communities because you got to think some of these police departments have like multi-million-dollar budgets. And
right.
Like even these small ones. And that money's not going back into the community. But if it was, what we've seen, what time has shown time and time again, is that when you put the money back into the community, crime decreases just in general. So let's just restructure some of these things. Let's get back to community policing. I very much so believe that you cannot police a community that you are not a part of.
That is a very good point.
I don't understand why it's the same with teaching. I don't understand why we bring teachers from the suburbs into these inner city schools to teach there. No, let's bring teachers from these inner cities who know what these students are going through, who have lived their lives, who can connect with them on different levels, who understand that maybe my algebra homework isn't a top priority when my mom is strung out and I'm taking care of all 5 of her kids, so just it's different. I think that we need to get back to just focusing on the community. When we focus on the community, everything increases. Everything gets better.
Alicia, I hit a major milestone this past month.
Okay, let's hear it.
So when I moved to Los Angeles from San Francisco, I went on a health kick. And I stopped drinking for 9 months. And that was a landmark thing for me because, back in my youth, I would be up in the club. I would be, I was the last one to go home. And I felt a lot better after 9 months and fell off the wagon at Tom Tom in West Hollywood. Sorry. As you do. But their Madame Butterfly champagne was really delicious. I was like, after that Tom Tom incident, I was like, all right, let's try this again. I bet I can go a year. And I hit 1 year, no alcohol, no marijuana, no drugs of any kind.
Congratulations. Whew, I was with you on the no alcohol. When you hit the no marijuana, I was
she's like, no, mama.
Whoa.
But I use an app. It's called I Am Sober.
Okay.
They keep it simple for you. I Am Sober app. And you put your sobriety date in, and it counts how long you've been sober, how much money you're saving. Alicia, why don't you read for me the results of my I Am Sober app?
So, Charles, the results of your I Am Sober app. By not drinking for a year, you have saved $3,660 and 366 hours. Congratulations.
Daddy needs a trip to Cabo.
I mean, that would get you that in a hotel with where these tickets are priced right now.
I know.
Go all inclusive.
All inclusive. But if I go to Cabo, I'm pretty sure I'll drink.
You're going to fall off the wagon.
That's the first thing.
So maybe that's not the solution.
I don't know. I will just say a year of not drinking, I'm a little naturally slimmer.
Yes.
I don't have to work quite as hard.
Your skin probably looks a lot better.
My skin feels better. Just less worry about health in general.
Mm-hmm. Now, what made you give up marijuana?
I'm not a big pot person to begin with.
Okay.
I will say it was worth doing. If anybody's wanting to give something up, try the I Am Sober app. Alicia, is there you're perfection as it is, but if you had a vice, what would you give up?
Sex.
What?
And I think I'm already on it. I have given up sex for Lent, for 2020, for Corona. I've given up on sex.
Why would you? You're not hurting anybody when you have sex.
Well, thankfully, no, I'm not. That's not
unless they ask for it.
I mean, and that's always a good time. But no, honestly, I have so many things going on between working and developing an app, and I'm a real estate agent. I have a fashion line. I have a very well-rounded social life with my girlfriends.
I just do it all.
But I don't have time to be having meaningless sex at this point. So I've just kind of eliminated all of the meaningless sex in my life. And it's been really easy too with Corona, because it's not like I think if I had been having amazing sex pre-pandemic, I would have been trying to still have sex. But since I wasn't getting dick down, it was just like, oh.
You're waiting for exhale moment.
I am. I definitely am.
I get it.
So meaningless sex is gone.
Like, we're in Los Angeles. Getting sex, we could get it within the hour.
I can get sex delivered quicker than I can get Chipotle.
Okay. Alicia, she could get sex faster than you could say queso and chips.
That's it. But I'm going strong. I've been sex free. I really don't drink. So that's never an issue for me. My friends know if we go out 10 times, I may not drink 9 of those 10 or 8 of those 10. One of those times I may have a glass, and then one of those times I might be two-fisted.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm not a big drinker.
Well, you're doing the intermittent fasting, so you'll make up for it.
That's definitely cut down on all of that too.
It's interesting you say you would give up sex though, because I know
I did give up sex.
I have some friends who are Wiccan, and when they're trying to conjure something in their life, they'll give up sex or something like a vice. And by eliminating one thing, you allow room in your life for other things to come in.
This is a fact. And I think that maybe unconsciously that's what happened this year, because I actually came into 2020 saying I was going to have all of the sex that I deserve.
All right.
And then I also said I was going to develop my app and do all of these other things. And apparently the only thing that didn't make it into 2020 was the sex part. So.
Oh, well, we were talking about an app, I Am Sober. What's this app you're developing?
So it's a dating app. I really can't get too much into it because we are actually in the coding phase right now. We'll be trademarking and copywriting the patent here very shortly. But it will be launching hopefully the end of the summer, maybe midsummer, in test markets. Obviously, LA is a test market. And so if you would have me back in about 4 to 6 weeks, I might have some real good tea for you.
I want the tea.
You'll have the exclusive.
Bring the tea to me first, Alicia.
You will. You will have it. In fact, if you're into dating apps, I'll give you a beta account.
Ooh, well, I am single and ready to mingle, so maybe I'll just have to try it out.
Yes.
Alicia will come in. I'll be wearing my full black as fuck wardrobe.
Absolutely. But I did tell you this when we were outside. One of my actual favorite things about the app is that we included all 52 noted recognized genders.
All inclusive of gender.
Absolutely. I wanted everybody to feel included in this. We are all out here looking for love.
Exactly.
So,
well, you could sign me up once you start rolling that out, and you are welcome at the Tea with Charles podcast anytime.
Yay, thank you.
We will have you we want to have you back on to promote your new app once that gets going.
Thank you. But back to I Am Sober. I guess I am sober by default because I don't count marijuana as a vice.
All right, Alicia, we are running out of time here in our studio space.
Okay.
And remind everybody once again, where can we find you on social media and your brand website?
Absolutely. You can find me at _Nicole Daily. And you can find my brand, Black as Fuck, at the website is www.buyblackasfuck.com. That is BUY, because that's what we're here to do, buy some stuff. And you can find us on IG at _black_as_fuck. Emphasis on the fuck.
Get into it.
Get into it.
So everybody, if you listened to the last episode of Tea with Charles, you know that I am putting chapters of my latest audiobook, DTLA Hustler, in my podcast. So in chapter 1 of DTLA Hustler, I moved to LA from San Francisco after much debate. Today, we are going to listen to chapters 2 and 3 of DTLA Hustler. Without further ado, here's DTLA Hustler. The Hounds of War. My first day job in LA was in a building sandwiched between Santa Monica and Beverly Hills, providing plenty of celebrity sightings. I may or may not have seen Angelina Jolie in a white van on a side street, although I'll admit my eyes are not the best at recognizing celebrities in person. For example, I thought I saw Jeremy Renner on Main Street downtown walking with 2 babes in tow. However, a fellow onlooker pointed out that the gentleman in question was actually a very fortunate James Franco. Getting from my place off First Street to work was proving an ordeal and sapping my money. An Uber from my home to Santa Monica might cost more than $30, but taking the metro gobbled up at least 2.5 hours. This 20-mile commute only takes a half hour by car in light traffic. Merely getting around was costing me a fortune. I arrived in LA with my credit cards completely paid off and money in the bank. However, a couple of pricey dental visits and a stolen phone later, and I was already hurting for money. I blew through the majority of my settlement merely setting up camp in Los Angeles. I was doing my best to find work in entertainment and writing, but how long would it take to find a proper paying job? 6 months? A year? So I had a day job that provided health insurance, but I clearly needed a side hustle. A friend mentioned he was doing Postmates on Bicycle, and by using his referral code, I could get a bonus of $500. With this news of $500, the gauntlet had been thrown. Now was the time I must cry havoc and let slip the hounds of war. I would become a Postmate. 3 birds, 1 stone. Postmates has nothing to do with the Postal Service. No stamps, no envelopes, no parcel packages. Postmates delivers food and sundry items at the push of a button on your smartphone. It has various rivals in this space, including Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. A recent press release by Postmates boasts that they now deliver in 400 cities, and 90% of those markets are profitable. Postmates holds the biggest piece of the courier business pie in Los Angeles. The clientele of Postmates skews young and trendy. Based on the pool of 200 people I delivered to, I would say the rideshare service Lyft markets to a similar progressive urban demographic. Other couriers I spoke to around DTLA said the largest difference was that the Postmates customers would be down to meet the courier as they arrive, but users of Grubhub or Uber Eats were less likely to be there waiting. It's hard to know what this means, but I believe it indicates Postmates users might be considered more tech-savvy. Or maybe Postmates users are just hungrier. But why use Postmates when the majority of people in LA, except for me, have a car? It boils down to one word: hassle. People who use Postmates pay not to have a hassle, whatever that might be. It might be as simple as people not wanting to change out of their sweatsuit and go outside. On more than one occasion, I delivered ice cream to the doorstep of women who appeared to be having a Netflix binge and didn't want to change out of their pajamas. The Shake Shack, situated at 8th Street and Hill Street, seemed to be the greasy food of choice for people with the munchies. Often, I'd pick up a double Shack burger with cheese and arrive at the door I was delivering to, and billowing out would be the hazy clouds from the dankest of indica. I smelled the fumes while working, so I would start to get the munchies too, and be tempted to steal some random person's chicken tenders next. I'm about my coin, though, so I didn't eat anybody's chicken tenders. Despite the proximity of hundreds of restaurants in downtown LA, I felt many Postmates consumers simply didn't want to brave lunchtime crowds. Also, women wearing high heels might not want to venture more than a few blocks. You have a hassle? I'll handle your hassle. I'm here to help you have a hassle-free existence. I happily tote over anything you desire. The order could be from Chipotle, Rite Aid, Tender Greens, or any of the other 250,000 merchant partners working with Postmates. I suspected there was an element of social class involved in many of the orders as well. For example, Chipotle is the chain with the most orders on Postmates. When was the last time you saw someone who looked like a powerful attorney or investment banker in line at Chipotle? In Los Angeles, where everyone is a VIP, at least in their own minds, who waits in line? The Postmates guy does, that's who. Waiting in line is for the hoi polloi and the déclassé. Postmates' slogan is anything, anytime, anywhere, we get it. Deliveries can include trips to drugstores, liquor stores, and supermarkets. Postmates also saves people from embarrassment. My drugstore runs included picking up such blush-inducing products as home pregnancy tests. One delivery to a gated community off Sunset Boulevard contained just one item: deodorant. The convenience is evident. Getting in a car, braving traffic, parking at CVS, finding the product, waiting in line, answering the 20 questions at the register, telling the cashier you don't want cash back. All this can take more than an hour when you just need your secret, strong enough for a man but made for a woman, to make sure you aren't repelling worthy suitors at Tom Tom Bar in West Hollywood that night. I have no shame. I'll wait in line for you. I'll buy your Tenactin antifungal wart spray along with your super jumbo tampons. And I won't assume you're not a virgin for buying those tampons. Maybe you just have a heavy flow and a wide-set vagina. It's what the public at the store will be thinking about me instead of you when I get your fungal spray and tampons. I enjoy when people think maybe I'm born with it. Or maybe it's Maybelline. Doing Postmates has 3 clear benefits. Number 1, I could lose weight by delivering via bicycle or foot. Number 2, I could make a few extra shillings. Number 3, I would learn about the culinary delights of the neighborhoods I was delivering in. Delivering for Postmates was a win-win-win situation. All I had to do was sacrifice some pride and join the line-waiting proletariat, and all this winning would be mine for the taking. Now I'm just going to tell you about which areas I worked while doing Postmates. I did 74% of the deliveries in DTLA, 22% in West LA, meaning Brentwood and Santa Monica, 3% in Beverly Hills, and 1% in Pasadena.
They just can't handle it.
That's all the time we have today for Tea with Charles. Catch me on social media at KingCharles0921. That's at KingCharles0921. Shoot the show a message at theboss@dtlahustler.com. Finally, make sure to support Tea with Charles by getting your copy of my books, which you can find by searching Charles St. Anthony at your favorite online retailer. Thank you for listening to the Tea with Charles podcast. Make sure to subscribe and tune in next time for all the tea you need. Happy Pride, everybody!
Ta-ta for now.